Greetings friends, and welcome to Let's Make a Tower Defense Part 7. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to sell a tower. So we're going to go into our original tower building menu. Whoops. We're going to get this canvas here. Now when we originally made our tower building menu, right, we put a selector in the beginning, and the selector differentiates between output A, which is when our tower menu is working, and that's the normal sort of function, and then once our towers have been spawned or they've been created, it goes to the second sort of function of the selector, and the second one does nothing essentially. So once the tower's been built, then nothing happens and you can't sort of build another tower on top of it. So now we're actually going to make it so that B actually does something else, and leads us to another menu, which is going to be the cell menu. So output B, we're going to connect it to this microchip. We're going to use a microchip because we will do quite a few things in this, and we don't want it to get too cluttered. So we'll call this one the cell menu, and this is the menu where we are going to figure out how to sell a tower. So the first thing we'll do is, it's a lot of it is very similar to what happens before. I'm going to copy the trigger zone, the NOT gate, and the selector. I'm just going to copy it with L1 and R2 so that it's like that. One thing I'm going to do is, in the trigger zone, I'm going to make this one slightly larger, make it about 2.1. Just because when you build a tower, I mean by default your little dude can like walk on the tower node itself, but once there's a tower there, you can't actually stand on it directly anymore. So you make it slightly wider just so that it's easier for you to like activate this trigger zone. So that's just a little bit of makes it a little bit more user friendly. Alrighty, then so we've got our NOT gate, so when it's not here it's going to go to A, and A does nothing of the selector, and B is where the juice is. And what this particular juice is going to be is a text displayer, first of all. So we'll go to Movers and Outputs and choose ourselves a nice text displayer. This text displayer is going to say cell. Pro strat, if you use these angle sort of pointy brackets, this is what you'll use to use like keypads and keypads, the particular keys of like the PlayStation, you know what I mean? So for example, like down on the D-pad is the word down between those two angle brackets. Triangle is like triangle between those two angle brackets. All those sorts of things you can find online. Dreams has posted like a cool document there. So we'll say the down on the D-pad is going to be cell. You can make it anything, but I feel like down isn't it's not like, you know, a key that you use all that often. We can move it to a kind of fairly central position, and yeah, we'll make it so that when it is B, it is going to power the text display that says sell. So in other words, when you get to this position, it's going to show you, do you want to sell? And if you want to be kind of pedantic about this, you can go to alignment and make it center and middle, and that'll be nice and perfect for those of you who are wanting things just right. Alrighty, then the next thing we're going to do is get a controller sensor. So we'll go into gadgets, sensors and input. Let's get ourselves a controller sensor. We can delete all these default connections it has because those aren't of much use to us. We can zoom in and just get rid of those. We'll go into its tweak menu, important properties, remote controllable. We'll turn that on so that we don't have to possess this in order for our button presses to do something. B is going to power the controller sensor. Alrighty. The first thing we want when we sell a tower is to get our money back, don't we? So for that, we're going to go to logic and processing, and we're going to go to a variable modifier. Then we're going to make it so that we'll go to input output page 3. That's where our down on the D-pad is. We're going to make it that when you press down on the D-pad, it's going to activate this variable modifier. What is this variable modifier going to do, you ask? Well, we're going to choose our variable first, and that's money. And it's going to add. Now, the amount that you sell your tower for really depends on you. You could make it that it's a full refund, or you could make it that it's only like 50% or something like that. Or you could be like it's only 10%, or it really depends on you how you want to balance your game. So I'm thinking of the arrow tower. I know that costs $5, so I could make it 5 as well, but I think I'll make it 2. I'll make it 2. because I'm a cruel game developer. So selling your towers isn't a good idea for me. But, I mean, strategically it might be that like the tower you have in place at the moment is kind of like not so good and you want to build a better tower there, or, you know, your tower's a little bit too cramped and you want to position them differently. You know, you put them in the wrong position and those sorts of things. But it's still like strategically it's useful, but it's not a way to, you know, get lots of money back. But hey, if you want to be cool and you want to be great, you can make it like a full refund. That all depends on you. But that's a bit of a digression. Alrighty, the other thing that is going to happen is I'm going to stick down a little timer that's going to be for a very short time, basically an instant, 0.1 second. The D-pad is going to activate that. Down on the D-pad is going to activate that. And then it's going to connect to A, and the original selected dude over here. So why am I doing that? Because let's go through the process. When you walk onto here, it's going to be at A. A is going to say, okay, the person is here, so let's display the menu. They build a tower, and it goes to B, which will take us now to the sell menu. If you decide to sell your tower, then what's going to happen is you're going to go back to A, the original menu, so that you can build more towers again. Does that make sense? Hopefully. We put in this very tiny timer just so that the variable modifier has time to actually change the amount of money you have. If you don't have this, it doesn't always work. Alrighty. The next thing we're going to do is when we go down on the D-pad, we're going to go to the arrow tower. Whoops, I made a mistake there. Don't connect it to the power there. That was my bad. We're going to go down on the D-pad. We're going to go into its sweep menu, go into its inputs and outputs, and we're going to connect it to destroy emitted objects. So what happens now? When we press the down button and it shows us the like sell little menu there, we're going to get some cash back. It's going to allow us to build more towers again, and it's going to destroy the original tower that was there. Yeah. So that's what is going to happen at the moment. Let's see if it works. Alrighty, so let's go into my little dude. Here we are. Going to build an arrow tower. Costs me $5, and now to sell it, hey, I get $2, and I can go back to building towers again. And the cycle continues. But the next thing we want to do is do it for our cannon tower, do we not? Because at the moment it's only really working for our arrow tower. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to just close the cell menu here. What we've got at the moment is when the arrow spawns, or when the arrow tower is built and the cannon tower is built, they're both going to B. So what we're going to do is actually delete the connection. Whoops, not our map. We're not going to delete the whole map. We're going to go to the cannon spawn. We're going to go object just emitted, and we're going to connect this to number C, which should appear as you get there. And now number C is going to be the exact same. We're going to go cell menu. We're going to copy this one, so it's just the same. We're going to make all the same connections. Well, mostly the same connections. But I'll tell you about the differences now. So it's still going to go to A. That's exactly the same. This one is going to go not to the destroy all emitted objects on the arrow tower, but on the cannon tower, spawner rather, the emitter. It's going to go destroy emitted objects, so the cannon disappears. And in every other function, it's going to be exactly the same. And of course, one other difference is that the cannon tower, half of 6 is going to be 3. You see, guys, my maths isn't so bad. I'm actually quite good. But jokes aside, we're going to get 3 cash when we sell our cannon tower. So friends, let us see if this works now. So I've got $12. I'm going to spend my 5 on the arrow tower. And if I sell it, I get 2. If I go to my cannon tower, build it, it costs me 6. If I sell it, I get 3. Hey, friends, there you are. That is how you sell a tower. So friends, that's pretty much all there is to it. All you have to do when you add in different towers is to make sure that you connect it to destroy emitted objects of the emitter that deployed that tower, and you change the amount of the refund as it's applicable to you. And yes, friends, I think just a bit of tidying up is it's a good idea to delete the old versions of this, because you don't want to have some versions that have a working logic and some that don't. You can just take your original and just clone this dude a bunch of times. Whoops. And then you've got your 4 again. Not sure why I always end with 4, but yeah, just seems right to me. Alrighty, friends. So that is how you build some cell tower logic. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit me up with some comments. You know, the occasional comment is much appreciated. I like contacting you guys and speaking to you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. I love answering questions. If you feel like this video was worth a like, please throw it down. And if you want to see more of this, then friends, please subscribe. Otherwise, I shall catch you on the flip-flop. Peace out.